Oh, Tashi Dele, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. And welcome back to the Lojong session. So we take a few minutes, do some mantra recitation practice together, dedicating to the well-being of numberless sentient beings, in particularly those of beings that who are right very now going through suffering or pain, especially from COVID, natural disasters, and other different form of diseases, problems, spirit harms. So we are very aware from news that we see so much every cities around the world. And also I receive messages, requests of prayers from individuals who are going through all sort of difficulties and challenges. So we come together and offer this prayer supports for them. So in order to make this practice most effective, the few conditions which are very important whenever we do practices. The correct practice itself, the mantra or the sutra or the meditation, then the correct motivation, with single-pointed, samadhis. mm, mm, mm. Then the correct motivation and the single-pointed samadhi and the correct practice. So with the altruistic motivation of bodhicitta, and that also on the basis of refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha, so that will make the practice very powerful, effective. Sanje je danzo je jo na la janjo ba do dane ja zo je da je je zo je be zo nam je ro la ben je sanje ro ba ra e jo sanje je danzo je jo na la janjo ba do dane ja zo da je je zo je be zo nam je ro la ben je sanje ro ba ra e jo sanje je danzo je jo na la janjo ba do dane ja zo je da je je zo je be zo nam Dola benje sanje ro barai jo gange doze ne zone dawa damje pambe jere dambe jene denje godam de la chaze lo donye nyinje sundo jube lam seje senje kanje dende ge chana be mo denze nyazo la sowa de zonda jun chinge lo semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dan dunga je judan dawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dami dawa juje semje damje nyere jada nidan dawe danyola nebra juroje semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dan dunga je judan dawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dami dawa juje semje damje nyere jada nidan dawe danyola nebra juroje semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dan dunga je judan dawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dami dawa juje semje damje nyere jada nidan dawe danyola nebra juroje Tabje doje jaje re doje jenje mendo deje bunjo ma zeje lombo dabo zebego jaje jabo ndela jaze lo daya da o mune mune ma mune yezo daya da o mune mune ma mune yezo ha daya da o mune mune ma mune yezo ha daya da o mune mune ma mune yezo Daya dao muni muni ma muni yezo ha daya dao muni muni ma muni yezo ha daya dao muni muni ma muni yezo daya dao muni muni ma muni yezo ha daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo ha daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo ha daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo ha daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo ha daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo ha daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo daya dao mo gade bara zam gade bodhi yezo ha Omo aho benzan guru bema zede 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 Mime zeve derjen cereze, ceme cembe ombo cembe yan, de bon male cumze zamenda, kanci cembe zuci zonga ba, lo zanda beşan la zovan. Mime zeve derjen cereze, ceme cembe ombo cembe yan, de bon male cumze zamenda, kanci cembe zuci zonga ba, lo zanda beşan la zovan. Mime zeve derjen cereze, ceme cembe ombo cembe yan, de bon male cumze zamenda, kanci cembe zuci zonga ba, lo zanda beşan la zovan. Mime zeve derjen cereze, deme cembe ombo cembe yan, de bu mali cumze zamyen da, ganci cembe zücün zonga. Lozanda beja la zovande, mime zeve derjen cereze, deme cembe ombo cembe yan, de bu mali cumze zamyen da, ganci cembe zücün zonga ma, lozanda beja la zovande. Mime zeve derjen cereze, deme cembe ombo cembe yan, de bu mali cumze zamyen da, ganci cembe zücün zonga. Lozanda be shabla zowa Omo mani beme ho, 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 omo mani beme ho. Omo mani beme ho, 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 omo mani beme ho. Omo mani beme ho, 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 omo mani beme ho. Omo mani beme ho, omo mani beme ho, omo mani beme ho, omo mani beme ho. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo ha, omo dare do re zo. Omodare dudare dure zoha, omodare dudare dure zoha, omodare dudare dure zo, omodare dudare dure zoha. Tayata omo gade gade tayata omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamonga de zo tayata omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamonga de zo tayata omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamonga de zo tayata omo be ganze maha be ganze ranza zamonga de zo Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samonga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samonga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samonga de zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samonga de zo. Omo mare zema zoha, 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 omo mare zema zoha. Daje jawa tamje dan, jebra yela sambe de, dini gembe zejo. Tubala me jinje lo, daja jungwe jinze jo, dojo mejo yanza zo, zemde zemele juwe jiba kone nyudo jabdo zo, jawa de nyudo dan, waze jema dojo ne, dowa jijama luba, de inzala gobra jo. Pama zemje damje den dan den joje, ngendo damje dado don adan, janjo zema gana zujo ba, deda kunje mana dojo je, zemje neba jinye ba, nyudo nele dajo je, dobe nene malup. Tado jowa me brajo jambe bawe jidra jemba da gondo sambo deyan de shinje de da kunje jeso da lobje jawa de da damje rabdo ngo de zo jebe jawa damje ngo gala jodo ngo bande da je jebe zawa de kunja sambo je rabdo ngo wanje be dan zo wa mi gebe yishi no bo ba zamje semje re wa kunje samba je je de be da shi jo. Okay, thank you, thank you. Oh yeah, so we are studying Lojong, a series of Lojong treatise, and today we are going through a new text, an instruction on purifying negative karma, and that is on page 203 if you are using the great collection of Lojong treatise. So yeah, so this teaching, this very teaching and the next text for the next the last session for this year on the Lojong teaching, it is very much it is like a coincident in one way. In another way, it is due to our collective karma that so relevant. When the year is approaching to the end, and here this teaching specifically focus on the purification practice. So today's text is on the the instruction on purifying negative karma, and this text especially useful and relevant to all different levels of practitioners. There are many who have not yet receive tantric teachings, have not received tantric initiations, even though in tantra there are so many powerful purification practices, but it is not necessary everyone, yet practicing them. And there are maybe some practitioners that who are not even taking refuge uh, in Buddhist path yet, but at the same time, who find necessities of purifying negativities, purifying negative doings, purifying negative imprints, negative energy. Mm? So this teaching is so relevant to anyone, including those, even those who have not taken refuge yet, those who have not entered into tantric path yet. Mm. And of course, to those who have entered into tantric path, those who have taken refuge, then this practice makes even more relevant. And also, uh, you know, the in order to bring the effectiveness of the tantric practices, whether to do with the accumulation of merit, whether to do with the purification practices, it require basic criteria in order to make the mantra effective, tantra effective. But then when it comes to the teaching that what we're going to go through today, this is the common um, the common to those who are practicing tantra and not. Uh, and in another way, it is uncommon. Um, it is a very unique, very special, very secret practice because of it is very much like a pit instruction in relation to Lojong teaching. It is um, secret dharma, mm, in relation to the altruistic practice. So for this, very much does not require such many criteria that require to other practices, as long as you do the meditation that is guided here. Then that brings the most effective purifications, as equal to all the other powerful purification practices. So I find it extremely beautiful teaching, essential practice, in particularly so essential of such practice in today's time, where there is overwhelming negativities exist, especially the negativities of the five degenerated time, negativities in relation to um, the human delusions, in particular human greed and desire and aversion. Then the negative energy that generated from fears and confusions, from many different form of adversities, like such as from natural disaster, such as from different sicknesses like a pandemic, like a COVID-19, and there's so many diseases, in general, uh, uh, that comes in people's life, you know, and that brings so much negative energy into us. Even from the natural disaster, generate the pollutions of so much negative energy in the atmosphere and in the environment where we live, uh, from the destruction that cause to the outer elements, such as outer 5 elements, which are the very important basis, very important factors, where our survivor lies on, where our inner 5 elements are very much linked with. The outer disturbances brings the imbalance and disturbances to our inner elements, and that bring the disturbances to the subtle elements, and that how bring the destruction to our mind, in particularly to our uh, subtle channels and our subtle continuum. So therefore therefore the purification practice is so important. And this practice is so relevant, uh, in particularly it being the altruistic practice. So the focus is not only about your own purification. It is very much once we engage in this purification practice, it really reach out the benefit to entire numberless sentient beings and entire universe. One's own practice in this altruism is a great contribution to the purifications of negativities, in everyone and in entire existence of samsara. You see, so from that point of view, it is so wonderful teaching and practice. Then, as a Buddhist, as a spiritual practitioner, purification practice is one of the two most important duty of the spiritual practice, or one of the two most important, one of the two main practice of the spiritual practice or the Dharma practice, which is accumulation of merit and purifications of negativities. These two are the thing that we should be doing as a spiritual practitioner, as a Dharma practitioner. If we are aspiring for enlightenment, these two are the practice that we need to achieve. If we are aspiring for liberation, these two are the practice to be achieved. If we are even aspiring for pure land, if we are aspiring for higher rebirth in future life, these are the two practice to be achieved. Even in this very lifetime, even in this very now, if we want to secure better life, healthier, happier, more prosperous, harmonious life, then these two are the practice to be achieved. Even in this very moment, if we want to secure healthy body and healthy mind, these two practices to be cultivated. These two practices uh, is the key tool to eradicate all the destructive conditions for our better physical health and the mental health. And these two are the tool to actualize all the conducive conditions for better health of mind and better health of the body. So you see, so it's unbelievable, precious practice. So, so, so it says purifying negative karma. So negative karma, you see, when you talk about, the meaning of negative, anything that cause distraction, anything that cause distractions, anything cause harm to virtue is negative. Anything that cause harm to inner peace is a negative. Anything that cause harm to the happiness is negative. Anything that cause harm uh, uh, to the path to liberation, enlightenment, that is negative. So anything that bring obstruction to the virtue and to the liberation is negative. So that negative, very much, comes in the form of activities or actions or accumulations or or continuum or or in a conduct or in an attitude, in activities, and those are called karma. And that karma, karma literally means action. So that karma very much categorized into two kind of different sections. One is the the mm, uh, the root or the you know what you call the root or the conceptual you know the substance that bring the inceptions of uh, of actions of the substance that bring inceptions of so that bring the fruition of the action, or usually we call the karmic imprint. Karmic is very much like the seed, is very much like the potential. So uh, mm, uh, mm, so such like in the troubling of the will of life, uh, uh, you see, uh, uh, the first and the eighth, uh, you know, are the very much, the seed to bring about the fruit the fruit of the actions, or the fruit of the karma. So that very much comes in the the in the form of intangible phenomena. Is very much a mental factor. There's no tangible thing, but it's a mental factor. It's kind of energy, you know, like any of the seed, even in our conventional existence, like the seed of tree, or seed of fruits. Physically, there's a substance, but that on the basis of that component, on the basis of that phenomena, it is specific energy, specific potential, so and yeah, so that potential is not really uh, is the physical aspect. It has its own unique unique energy, or unique um, mm, unique energy. And that very much again is a creations of sentient beings, um, uh, sentient beings action, very much creation of sentient beings action, sentient beings karma, you see. So it's a quite a complexity, but it is like that. So and that uh, you see. So therefore, in our continuum, whatever experience that we go through now and in the future is very much initial caused by that potential, that particular karma. And that particular potential, when meets the second type of karma is called the conditional karma, the conditional, action, which is which can be very much, very immediate before um, the actualizations of the process of the result. So that is the conditional karma. Mhm. Again, that conditional karma, there are physical forms, like as I mentioned before, but the main thing is is the energy, that is the potential, and that is non-tangible, that is a mental factor. uh, so that is the karma. So here, negative karma is such potential that which bring destruction to our virtue, our happiness, our peace and liberations and enlightenment, and those are called the negative karma. And this particular teaching is the instruction, which is meaning the method or the antidote to purify them. So therefore, an instruction on purifying negative karma. So in the text is a homage to the precious teachers. So as usual, this is a special way of, whenever the Tibetan masters or the Indian pandits, when they do compositions of any text, there's a tradition of making, paying homage. And one is to accumulate merit. The second is to purify obstacles on the composition of the text. And also it is um, and also from the homage you can see roughly, the main theme of the teaching. So here, paying homage to the teachers, we can also understand it is very much is a pit instructions of the lineage gurus, and which the lineage guru, like in the earlier text that in the last class that we have listed. There's so many of those lineage gurus. Similar to that, it trace all the way back to the enlightened Buddha. So therefore, so this teaching is the um, pure Buddha Dharma, which come up to today, come up to this very channel without any interruption of the commitment in relation to the blessings of the transmission. Mhm. So therefore, without any doubt, when we engage in such practices, will definitely brings spiritual benefit like that. So then the text says, as for the means to purify negative karma, although many methods, such as four powers, um, so there are many purification, methods are there, purifying negative karma. There are so many methods. Um, mm, uh, yeah, so many methods, such as the practice of four opponent power, that we commonly practice. The the power of reliance, power of regret, power of antidote, and power of how to say, mm, uh, the exact word I can't remember, but the power that you refrain from committing again of such negative karma, such as four opponent power. Then the recitations of the Kamkani mantra. So the Kamkani mantra is the mantra of Buddha Migtrugpa, who belong to the Akshobhya family of the five Dhyani Buddha, and who also belong to the action tantra. Mm, uh, the mantra, such as mantra practice of the Kamkani, Namorana Tayaya Om Kamkani Kamkani Rotsani Rotsani Totani Totani Tasani Tasani Tadihana Tadihana Sawakama Parampirani uh, Parampiranime Sawasata Nenza Soha. So that is the Kamkani mantra. It's regarded very powerful mantra. to purify negative karma. So, accumulating like 100,000 recitation of Kamkani mantra, or reciting like 21 times or 7 times daily of this mantra, to purify negativities. And then, such as making Migtrugpa Tsatsa practice, making the image of the Migtrugpa on the clay, on the cloth, printing Migtrugpa image on the cloth, paper, making water tsatsa, making image of Migtrugpa on the water, then carving Migtrugpa image on the rocks, and carving Migtrugpa mantra on the rocks, on the paper, or writing Migtrugpa mantra by gold, silver, etc., etc. So all these are the different methods to purify negative karma. Then the 100-syllable mantra recitation. So that's referring to the Vajrasattva mantra. There are 100-syllable mantra, and they are short mantra. The 100-syllable Om Benzasato Samaya Manupalaya Benzasato Tinopatita Tido member, Stokoyo member, Subokoyo member, Anurado member, Sawasiti member, Sawakama Susam, Setam Shiriam Kuru Hum Haha Ho Bagawan, Sawatagata Benzama member, the Benzaba Ma Samaya Sato Ahong Pe. Or Sato Ahong or Sato Ahong Pe. So either is okay. Then the short mantra Om Benzasato Hung. Om Vajrasattva Hung. Or some they also recite Om Vajrasattva Hung, Om Vajrasattva Hung. So all are okay. So there's a for the purification of negativities, reciting the long 100-syllable mantra 100,000 times, through engaging in retreats, by abiding in the 4 sessions of retreats. Then reciting 21 times or 100-syllable mantras, or if not, at least short 21 times of the short mantra daily, or 7 times of the long, or 7 times of the short mantra daily, and doing Vajrasattva meditation through 4 opponent power practice, combined with the 4 opponent power practices. Then and just simply doing Vajrasattva meditation practice in relation to the 3 purifying methods. The purifying methods in downward, upward, then steadiness, this spontaneous, the purification practices. So there are many ways of Vajrasattva purification practices, and these are quite familiar to many of Tibetan Buddhist practitioners. Then also the Vajrasattva practice is very common, that conjoined with the almost every sadhana practices of the any deities, every puja practices of the any deities. So it is very common. And it can be practiced according with what kind of initiation you have, like such as the father mother initiation of the father mother Vajrasattva, or the single hero Vajrasattva. So there are many practices. Have been taught in both tantra and perfection vehicle. So many of these deity practices like Migtrugpa and Vajrasattva are emphasized from the tantric practices, and such as the 4 opponent power, and such as the 5 powers practices. All these are from the perfection vehicle, the sutric Mahayanic vehicle. Emphasize such practices. So although there are all these many purification practices are emphasized, here you should generate awakening mind by cultivating the thought, I shall purify without exception all the negative karma and obscurations of beings. So that is the motivation of this specific this specific purification practice from this teaching. The motivation is as simple as this, but is so profound, and the benefit, even from the motivation, it prevails the benefit to all numberless sentient beings. You see, I shall purify any form of negativities, any form of downfalls, any form of wrongdoings, negative energy, etc. Without exception, all the negative karma, and all sort of negative karma, negative action that one have performed. Now that those who remember, and those one not remember, that accumulated from beginningless lifetime. Then the obscurations, obscuration to the nirvana, which is the delusional obscurations, like generating attachment, generating anger, jealousy, ego, pride. All these are fear. All these are the delusional obscuration, and that bring obstacle to liberation. Then the obscuration to omniscient, the tendency of the delusions, the potential of the delusions, the wrong view, the self-grasping ignorant. So these are uh, the tendency of delusion, or potency of delusion, which is an obstacle to omniscient, such as the ignorance of not knowing the absolute truth, the emptiness of self and all the phenomena. These are the tendency of the delusion. These are the root for the delusion, and this is the obscuration to omniscient, to become Buddha. So, so carrying this motivation, I shall purify without exception all the negativities and the obscuration of yourself and all the beings. Then you do this visualization accordingly. It says like this: view your own body as a rainbow or composed of light, and visualize an opening at the point of your nose. As you recite the 3-syllable Om Ahum, visualize that 3-syllable like a long thread of white fat emerge from this opening. Imagine that all your negative karma and obscurations follow out in the form of black liquid. With this thought, repeat the 3 syllables. So this is the actual practice after the motivation, the actual practice, the visualization practice. So this is the way, you see. So just to give a brief elaboration to better understanding. View your own body as a rainbow or composed of light. So here, those who have understanding of emptiness, then you use the emptiness tool. First bring about the complete negation or complete eradication of the impure self, impure being, impure aggregates of this samsaric body and mind. Purify everything into emptiness, bring everything into empty. And to where to do that, first you, if you're advanced in emptiness, then you can directly go into absorption meditation. Just like kind of reminder, like kind of initiate by moment of understanding through the intellectual understanding of emptiness, which is very much the how we get to understand through the contemplative meditation, contemplation on emptiness. on the basis of I and on the basis of the aggregates, how we analyze, through the analytical meditation, we bring to understand the definite emptiness of inherent of I and the basis, the body, isn't it? So those who are very familiar with that, then just one moment of that, mm, uh, analytical meditation, then directly, go into absorption, absorption, meditative wisdom, which is bringing about complete void, complete void of um inherent self and inherent basis of these aggregates, and that doesn't mean is completely disappearing. Your ordinary being is not. It doesn't mean that you disappear, your body disappear. It doesn't mean that. So therefore, you actualize the interdependent existent in the form of light. Here, like say, body as a rainbow. Your own body as a rainbow, or composed of light. So that is the uh, uh, when you bring about your body, yourself, and the basis, the body, the composed of rainbow or the composed of light, that itself, the light itself, the representations of uh, the unified of void and interdependent rising. Interdependent rising, you establish the both ultimate truth and conventional truth. Uh, because of there's something to be perceived, something to be hold on, which is the light. Therefore, you establish the conventional truth. But then it is in the form of um, light, which is void of rest of the ordinariness, ordinary body, ordinary being, that actualize the ultimate truth, the emptiness of lack of inherent existence. You see, so so like that. So then those of individual who don't have clear understanding of emptiness, then simply visualize, simply imagine, your body and mind through some, how to say, uh, you know, through the design of the meditation. uh, you see, like closing your eye and getting into your deeper into your mind, and try to actualize some kind of mental picture of who you really are, mental picture of how you really look. You see, and that is like very much like bring into a form of light, like kind of imagining yourself as a light, uh, then labeling that is you, which is different from before. So that itself also actualize the true truth, the conventional ultimate truth. And if you are familiar with, even if, at least with the labeling, then you can label that uh, is I, that which is arise from the emptiness nature. I, that which is in emptiness nature, arise from emptiness nature, and which is exists in emptiness nature, in the form of light. So you visualize like that. Then after that, you visualize an opening point of your nose. So there's a kind of like a from that light, then there's kind of like a light, there's a hollow, like like in the chimney, like this in the house, there's a two, hollow, where the sunlight, or the sunlight can be shining in, very much like that. From that light again, there's an opening, you know uh, there's kind of opening from there, even though it's not a physical thing, but then again there's a creation of opening, somewhere at the point of your nose. Then you recite the syllable Om Ahong. So even though the syllable Om Ahong is a tantric, is a mantra, but this in the meaning, it simply, symbolize your basis, your basis, uh, you see, your basis of ordinary being, as well as your basis of the purified being, enlightened being. So it's so powerful. This mantra is kind of is a magical mantra. It's a magical substance that which can represent your ordinary being, which also represent your purified being, enlightened being. You see. Hmm? So Om Ahong. It also symbolize uh, the your body, speech, and mind. The ordinary body, speech, and mind, as well as the purified body, speech, and mind of the enlightened one. Your resultant Buddha from this practice. You see, so like that. So in another word, and also this mantra also symbolize the object of your object of the refuge, the object of merit, the object that object where that you going to actualize your spiritual goal, which is the enlightenment. You see, so therefore, Omahung also represent the Buddha. Omahung represent the antidote, the Dharma. The Omahung represent also it is tool to communicate with you. The causal Buddha uh, through the basis of this ordinary being to bring about the resultant Buddha in you. So it is like the thread of channel, the tool that you use to connect all the link. You see, so like that. So therefore it is just a simply energy that which carry by us, by any individual. So yeah, so by any individual. So therefore, um, if you bring that energy into a letter, then it becomes syllable Om Ahung. You see. So now here, when you recite this syllable Om, so just simply reciting, that alone brings the impact of purification. You know, instant impact of purification. But then you can add a visualization. So in the text is visualize that the three syllable like a long thread of white fat emerge from this opening. You see, so you can visualize like that. Like long, almost like endless, like that kind of long thread of white fat emerge from this opening. Then visualize, imagine that all your negative karma and obscurations follow out in from the black liquid. So black shoot or black liquid, so it's coming out. So like that. Uh, so you see here, it just talk about the black liquid. So that is, some texts, individual negativities has different sort of visualizations, and uh, mm, uh, like like a scorpion, black smokes, dark smokes like that. So the black liquid, that this alone is enough. Is everything is in here. So to make it a symbol, then all the negativities, that in relation to any form of wrongdoings, uh, including those broken samayas, mm, uh, in relation to guru, in relation to dharma, in relation to sangha, uh, then in relation to all the precepts vow that if we in case we have broken, then any form of negative thoughts that we have generated, negative actions that we have performed, you see. So yeah. So imagine that all that those negative karma and obscurations, uh, as mentioned before, the obscurations fall out in the form of black liquid. With this thought, repeat the three syllable. Then you can recite, you can repeat Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, So while you're doing this meditation, visualizations, then you keep repeat. So you can recite this, hundreds and thousands. You can recite this few rounds. Uh, so you can engage in the session to do, purification practice in relation to this visualization and recitation is simply Om Ahum, you see. So when you recite Om Ahum, all the other practices, everything emerge, everything substitute by this, you see. So even the mantra wise is very simple, and the visualization is also very simple. There's no rituals, engaged. Even the visualization also, there's no visualizations of deity, which we have normally can be quite complicated. So from here you can see how simple it is. So like that. Then at the end, as you end the session, imagine that all negative karma is thoroughly purified. So that is very important. You see, any form of purification practices, at the end, whenever we do the practices, whether we practice for accumulation of merit or purification practices, the the confidence at the end is the most important. Another most important. When you have a kind of 50-50 confidence, then the impact is 50-50. When you doubt to the purification practice you just took, doubting that maybe the practice is not powerful, doubting because of you may think that maybe I didn't do proper practice, or maybe there may be some flaw in my practice or limitations in my practice, or even just thinking that I'm just beginner, so I may not know how to practice like the high lamas. So therefore, my purification practice may not be so effective. Even that kind of inconfident bring huge obstacle to the accomplishment of the to the success of the practice. You see, so therefore it is very important. Doesn't matter as long as you follow the guideline, and then at the end you just have to place full trust, full confidence in the whatever practice that you are based on. In this case, then the this a powerful altruistic practice of purification, which channel up to now through all the realized Buddhas, realized Kadamba masters, who all have achieved, through these practices, they have able to purify all negativities, all obscurations, and actualize enlightenment within one very lifetime. As effective as that, you see. So, so similarly, then here you think that I follow the instruction, I have done my best, so 100% sure through the power of this practice that I purified. So that confident. So if you how well visualization you have done or not, how extensive you have done or not, but the end confident and conclusion, play a huge role, and also the the beginning, the motivation. The motivation is not, uh, is no doubt is there, but the ending part, I think, is so important. And most of the time we have all sort of uh, reasons to prove ourselves that we are not good enough, and in the practice, that will bring huge obstacle. So at the end, it's 100% sure, I have purified. Then from there, we need to move on. If we continue to grasp back, then it's very much like, we don't want to go away from the negativities. We because each time we remember those negativities, each time we recall those negative events, problems, delusions, we create a new karma. We create a new karma. uh, Even in case if have not purified, then it will make boost. It will boost those negativities. You see, so at the end of the practice, say definitely completely purified. So that is very, very important. So imagine that all negative karma is thoroughly purified. We must do that each time. then sometimes we may think that, oh, this is bluffing, because problem continues, this samsara continues, suffering continues. You may think like that, uh, uh, and that is not, you may think like that, but uh, uh, but but um, but the problem and the difficulty that we are going through, it is the result of definite karma. Those are already taking effect in the result. You see, so due to that, we will still see, still carry on our this contaminated body, including aging, sickness, death. It will come in our way. You see, but through the practice, even its definite karmic result, it will bring the benefit of reducing the duration and the intensity of the suffering. So that's the benefit. So that's the purification. And there are numberless, including, numberless heinous crimes that we have committed in the past lifetime. Those are potential to bring us to experience, eons of, suffering in the three lower realms, including the lowest hell realms. You see, so those are not yet meet the condition, the conditional karma. So therefore, they are not definite to bring about the result. So through this practice, those karma will definitely purify it. Through the purification practice, will purify completely. You see. So therefore, if we carry the conclusion practice of that, all negativities are completely purified, and we move on, focusing on the virtue and cultivating, new virtues. Then, after we complete the definite karmic result of this contaminated body and the life, once that is over, when we emerge back to our root, the clear light, which we experience at the time of discarding this ordinary uh, uh, body of this samsara, then uh, you know, then we don't have to take any more new rebirth in samsaric aggregates. You see, because all the potential karma of the past is completely purified through the purification practice, isn't it? Then the definite karmic result that we are going through, this samsaric body and samsaric life, that is purified by nature of the death that we go through, discarding these contaminated aggregates, because the transition is only by reaching through the transition from this impure being, ultimately is going back to our root, which is the clear light, which is our ultimate base, which is we also call as a Buddha nature, isn't it? We call Buddha nature, isn't it? So clear light is the Buddha nature. Clear light, the nature of the clear light, our mind, clear light mind, is no different than the Buddha's mind. You see, so. So through the practice of purification, through the practice of the path in lifetime, then utilizing the clear light practice at the time of death, then in tantric term it called as meeting of the son and the mother, Migtrugpa, meeting of the son and the mother. You see, so then there, uh, since you have purified all the negativities, including those definite karmic results of these samsara aggregates, then there you actualize dharmakaya. So you enlighten, in dharmakaya. Then simultaneously you achieve the Sambhavakaya and the Nirmanakaya, all the three bodies of the Buddha you achieve there, you see. So how you're able to achieve the Dharmakaya? Dharmakaya is simply, Dharmakaya is nothing more than simply the state actualizing after complete eradications of karma and delusions, the karma and defilements, you see. That's called Dharmakaya. You see, Dharmakaya is a state, nothing more than simply the cessation from karma and defilements. So since through this practice, the defilements and the karma which are simply remain in potentials are completely purified, then through the process of the life journey, facing the transition of death, and going through the natural uh, experience of clear light, bring about total eradications of uh, entire samsaric aggregates, uh, makes you to reach the absolute cessation, which is nothing, which is none other than the Dharmakaya. You see, and that Dharmakaya is introduced to you. That Dharmakaya is introduced, is kind of like introduced. I'm the son and I'm the mother, like that. The origin of the Buddha nature, uh, and the resultant, uh, the Buddha that you achieve through purification, uh, you know is like meeting the son and the mother, like introducing son and the mother. you know you see, uh, or it's very much, you can say, like the mother, work hard to bring about the birth of the son. You see, it's very much in our lifetime. You work hard with the practice of purification and accumulation of merit. This purification practice itself is accumulation of merit. So you achieve, the both benefit there. So that is like a mother, developing, the son. Uh, how to say? To bring about conception of the son. Then finally, when the due date, you bring delivery of the son, isn't it? Then there the mother hold back and say, this is my child. Like the newborn baby in the first moment of the in the arm of mother, like with so much joy, so much, that introduction, is that is like ordinary, like mother and son meeting in the first time in this universe, isn't it? So similarly, throughout our lifetime, the practice of purification and accumulation of merit, like such as taking this practice, then there, uh, you give birth to the resultant Dharmakaya, uh, onto the basis of your Buddha nature, the pre-existing, Buddha, Dharmakaya, the Buddha nature, that goes son and mother meeting, you see. So therefore, mm, each time when you do this meditation, the end, your confidence has to be very, very strong, you see, each time, you see. So through this understanding, through this understanding, Buddha is not cheating, the practice is not cheating you, the teacher is not cheating you. They're not telling you to kind of just empty imagination. It's not like that. There's a reality there. Now you see. Then they say, so as you end the session, imagine that all negative karma is thoroughly purified. Recognize all of these mere expressions of the mind. Dedicate the virtues and make aspiration prayer. So most important thing, here again, those of you who have emptiness understanding, in emptiness, you see, in emptiness there's no inherent negativities, isn't it? So meaning in reality there's no inherent negativities. See, so the negativities, negative actions are all creations of our mind. You see, uh, all creation of our mind. It is so true, isn't it? Whatever we speak, whatever physical action we do, we perform, even offering service to someone, helping hand to someone, or slapping someone, everything is arise from your mind. Everything, your mind makes your physical body to act. You see, so in the mind, the delusions are also is the manifestation of the mind. So in short, all the actions of body, speech, and minds are expressions of the mind. You see, all the karmas are expressions of the mind. So nothing more than that. Therefore, there's no such kind of tangible, something that blocked there, stuck there. Nothing can be moved. It's not like that. You see, so simply you clear your mind, and the way to clear your mind is through purification practice. So through the purification practice, you clear the mind, then you see the negative karma cease there, cease there, you see. So therefore, so here meaning, recognize these are mere expressions of the mind. If we don't have any emptiness understanding, just simply understand that with the simple reason that given before. You see, if you have emptiness knowledge, then here you do short, again similar like in before, I've mentioned, either do short analytical meditation on emptiness in relation to the karma that figure it out that lack of inherent existence on the karma, or the object that you've been purifying, or then from there you actualize emptiness of inherent on that karma, or then um, uh, actualize into absorption meditation, completely remain in the void, and union that with the bliss sense of understand, sense of notion that you are completely free from negativities, completely free from negative karma, then that sense of relief, sense of joy, union with that void of negativities, so you can do such kind of meditation. You can remain in that meditation for hours, days, or even just a minute or moment, accordingly, one's capability, you can do that. Then dedicate the virtue, so at the end, then you dedicate the virtue. So since this is altruistic dharma, so the best way that you can dedicate, like how Atisha have emphasized, Chanchu Semjo Rinpoche Maji Panam Ki Kyo Ni Mame Kone Kondo Peblisho, me Bodhicitta, so the Bodhicitta dedication, all of you usually you do that, isn't it? So I don't have to recite in English. Maybe my English order may not be there. So Chanchu Semjo Rinpoche Maji Panam Ki Kyo Ni Mame Kone Kondo Peblisho, Chanchu Semjo Rinpoche, the precious Bodhicitta Maji Panam, those who have not arisen arise. Those who have those who actualize the bodhicitta, but if it degenerated, then refresh it, re-actualize it. And those who have sustained the bodhicitta in your heart and ever increase, ever grow, until the perfections of omniscient altruism, like that. Then you can also dedicate altruistic emptiness. Similar words, similar, except you change from bodhicitta to emptiness. Then you can also dedicate Rimni Tawa Rinpoche, Majepanam Kyuji, Kyoani Mameba, Kone Kondo Pebasho. So again, all the words, all the lines are same, except change from bodhicitta and emptiness to Rimni. Rimni is the two stages, the part of Tantra. The generation stage and completion stage, so like that. So that complete. And you can also dedicate, like how the Shantideva have emphasized in Buddhist how the Bodhisattvas like Samantabhadra, Bodhisattva Chandras, and Buddhism Manjushri would dedicate whatever merit, for the benefit of all number of sentient beings. May my merit too dedicate in that way, like that, so you can dedicate in bodhicitta, basically, you see. Then make an aspirational prayer. So like again, here, since altruistic practice, like how the Shantideva would make the aspiration, like in Bodhisattva, as long as sentient being remain, may I too remain to dispel the suffering of sentient being, like that. You can make such kind of prayer, or like how the Nagarjuna and how I think Shantideva, they make aspiration like yourself actualizing as a wish fulfilling jewel, to the sentient being, numberless sentient beings' happiness. Those who need medicine, you become medicine. Those who need servant, you become servant. Those who need teacher, you become teacher. Those who need food, you become food. Those who need shelter, you become shelter. Those who need friend, you become friends, etc., etc. So so you can again, depend on your time and uh, you see, you can refer to Shantideva's dedication prayer, Nagajuna's dedication prayers, Lama Tsongkhapa's, etc. You can just use. There's so many dedication prayers, alternate dedication prayers that you can use them like that. Or otherwise, just simply in the heart. You just express how Shantideva have expressed. As long as sentient being remain, may I to remain to dispel the suffering of sentient being. That's so beautiful, isn't it? So wonderful, like that. But then I continue from the text. Since through the force of this meditation, the body, speech, and the mind of the Tathagata will descend in the form of 3 syllables. This is the source of great blessings. It is said that through this practice, even such grave negative act as causing dissension within the spiritual community can be purified. So the dissension within the spiritual community, bringing disharmony, bringing separations among the spiritual community, spiritual practitioners, like in a spiritual organization. Someone create rumors, someone bring division of division, of group, division in the two, in the group, from to whom from the organization that which lead by the same guru, or that among the disciples that under this under the same teacher, or the monastery under the same Vinaya monastic rule, then oneself causing through directly mentioning or rumoring, or doing any form of negative, conditioning to bring these two faith, bring this group of faith into two groups, and that doesn't require hundreds, even just among two, bring to two separation. That is what called causing dissension within the spiritual community, and that is regarded one of the 5 heinous crime. It's one of the heaviest negative karma, as equal harmful as causing life of your own father, mother. It's equal negative karma of causing life of Buddha, causing life of Guru, causing life of Bodhisattva, drawing blood from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Gurus, like that. It's a heavy is negative karma. The result of such negative karma is that individual to go into Vajra health, so that's how described in the teachings. So Buddha have make this is a very, very serious thing, very, very serious thing, because harmony, peace among people, especially within spiritual practice, is the foundation to progress, the preservation of Dharma, both in learning and practice. Then anyone who cause disharmony in that, surely understand. Buddha don't have to say, even though Buddha have said again and again, in especially in the Vinaya sutras, again and again, Kinduni Encheva is a huge negative karma, unbelievable. You see, it's one thing that you cannot afford to do. You see, even how cruel person, how negative person one may be, but one thing that we cannot afford to do. If we cannot support or condition to harmonize those those group that who has misunderstanding among each other, if we cannot help to harmonize, but cannot afford to separate them, cannot. Even one single wording, can accumulate this karma, and heavy karma, you see. So anyway, this practice, this purification practice, is so powerful that even such heinous crime can be purified, you see. So that means the rest of negative karmas are without any doubt. So even heinous crime can be purified like that, you see. So powerful, so wonderful, isn't it? Amazing. Rejoice. Unbelievable. Wow. It's like It's like, you found a treasure, which contain more than the wealth of entire universe. You see, because this treasure, this purification practice, this treasure is can deliver our ultimate wish of enlightenment, our ultimate wish to make sure the mother and son really able to meet at the junction of clear light, isn't it? If we're able to do that, then we gain the perfection in everything, all the knowledge, all the comfort, everlasting peace and happiness. Uh, gain all the tool to bring infinite benefit to the rest of the mother sentient being. Unbelievable, isn't it? Truly, the supreme treasure. Like finding, this kind of teaching is like finding supreme treasure like that. You see. Okay, so the teaching complete. So so please read through it, and very, very easy to take the snap picture of the visualization. As far as concerned, memorizing, there's nothing to memorize. Omahong, everybody knows. So visualization, you just take a snap picture deep in your mind. Then we do, one tribe, one best to do this purification practice every day to day, as much as possible. And especially when we realize we do some mistakes, then immediately can use this, so like that. So wonderful. Okay. So thank you very much. I will stop here. And we have one more sessions. One more sessions. And that is another amazing practice. Mayana purification of grudge. So that will be the next teaching. Okay. Thank you very much. So we stop here and we do short dedication. May this collective merit be a complete cause for numberless sentient beings, purify entire oceans of samsaric suffering, and its causes, the karma and delusion, and actualize peerless happiness all the way up to the enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause, this pandemic to be overcome, all the cure be most effective. Then may this collective merit of ours be a complete cause. Anyone anyone among you, among your family members and friends, or anyone in the world, that whoever going through any form of inconvenience and obstacles to your health, your financial, your relationship, in your spiritual life, your mundane life, may everything be purified. Then actualize all the conducive conditions to have a perfect life, meaningful life, virtuous life, joy and happiness, all the way up to enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause, and also all the people who have requested prayers from me, requested prayers from our Guru, and also those to whom we know that they are in troubles, we dedicate this merit for them to overcome all the sufferings, all the difficulties, actualize all their wishes accordingly. May this quality merit be a complete cause. All the world leaders, the leaders organizations, leaders of a family, yourself who lead your life, free from all the negative emotions, negativities, and actualize all the wisdom of selfless, attitude of loving kindness, compassion. Then able to fulfill all the mundane and spiritual virtuous wishes accordingly. May this quality merit be complete cause. All the good people in this world, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, all your spiritual gurus, and yourself and your family members, always enjoy good health, long life, fulfill all your aspirations according to enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the virtuous institutions like monasteries, nunneries, and all the Dharma centers. And including the teaching that organized by FPMD Australia, and all the centers and the study groups, and also all the other other practitioners around the world, who are connected to different study groups at different Dharma centers, may all these Dharma institutions, and there are also some there who attend the teaching through your own individual capability. May all the Dharma basis be free from inner outer secret obstacles and actualize all the conducive conditions to fulfill, all the spiritual benefits, including extensive learning in Dharma, actualizing all the realization on the stages of path to enlightenment accordingly. The dedicate ourselves, the merit and the purpose that we dedicate all lies in the nature of emptiness. So please do dedication if you have any specific individual dedications while I recite these prayers. Ejawade nyudo dalama sanje dogyone dowa chi jamalyoba de zala gobarai sho chanjo semjo remboje maje panam jeju ji jawanye bamme bayan kone kondo pebasho toni tawa remboje maje panam jeju ji jawanye bamme bayan kone kondo pebash remye tawa remboje maje panam jeju ji jawanye bamme bayan kone kondo pebasho pama simje tamje tenda deju jingero tamje tatu tongan chanjo zamba kana zojo ba de da kunje molan do joro je semje ne ba chenye ba nyudo ne la ta jo jo we ne ma ba ta do chungwa me bra sho jambe ba wo je dra jemba da gondo sambo de ande shinje de da kunje jezo da lo je jawa de da tam je ra dong de son chebe jawa tam je de ngo kana chudo ma ba da je je we zawa de kunje sambo je je ra do ngo ba ra je kare ra be ko we shingam de pendan de wa ma le jo we ne chere se wa tenzin ja zo 샤베 세대 봐도 땡줄지 톱조 change 장군 자베데 진교 빼베 콘서도 보지 초선 거베 레메토도 나zo 되제 건도 샵된 쇼 좀데데 디제 잡아라 좀 야한다 봐줘 산제 남아도 되고 이제 봐라 자 쇼스 봐서 좀 kun도 선보라 차 다야도 온벤저리 아우부도 내 좀들을 들자면서 다도 베저리 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 아우부도 내 좀들을 들자면서 좀내 디제 봐라 좀 야한다 봐줘 산제 오와도 몰라도 저러도 베저 보라 좀 디제 봐라 좀 야한다 봐줘 산제 메절라 베데 베저 보라 차서 메조제 제베 젤라다 덴데 로암메 베데만 다제 하산다 베데 남다메 베네근 좁교로로 이제 배단 조함이 그 배신 누워 봐서 심제로 와고 저 삼바 최전 저 다시 주니 몬델레 챈델레 니면 고양델레 진이 저다도 되레 군조 숨게 다시 쇼. Okay, thank you very much. Please take good care of yourself and take good care of each other. See you. Take care. Bye bye.